Hi, I'm Nat from View Real Estate in Hobart, just giving you a May update on the rental market down here. We have 0.4% vacancy rate, so still really low in Greater Hobart. The average rent for a house is $600 a week, and a unit now is $470 per week. I have noticed in the last probably month, the houses that are around that average price days on market are really quick. The higher rents though, new builds, higher rents that are sort of topping like the $700 per week mark are really slow. So just an honest opinion there, days on market are dragging out to, 30 plus at the moment. And we are really having to really look at that rental price and really adjusting. So just keep that in mind, whether it's the cooler months that are sort of doing that. You've got tenants now that are really settled for the year, a bit of that as well. So just a really honest bit of feedback there for our investors watching this at the moment. We are having around, the 10 groups to those average price houses coming through an open home, and you're getting around the 2 to 3 applying. So not a huge amount anymore that you're normally seeing. So yeah, so it's still ticking along. Those average rents there are still really turning over. But as I said, those higher rents I've noticed have just really, really cooled off a little bit. And I've had tenants leave. I know, weird. But they are wanting to move interstate, obviously with the COVID bubble really sort of lifted now, and they've had a dream. They want to move to Melbourne, move interstate, change careers, that type of thing. So we've had a few lease renewals pop up. And so we're sort of seeing like the tenants on the move a little bit as well. But overall, the cooler weather down here really does sort of keep people at home. Still ticking along, but just a little bit slower than the last few months. Over to you, Em.
Thank you. So at the moment, we have a 0.2% of vacancies. A lot of our properties aren't lease renewals, they're actually new properties that are coming in, and we're having quite a lot. It doesn't matter whether it's Smithton, Penguin, Burnie, they're all achieving above 400 to 500. We've had a couple of 350 to 400s, which we have an abundance of applications for. But as Nat mentioned, the higher end properties are starting to slow down a little bit, which normally in winter it happens, but it hasn't happened for quite a few years. So that's just something to be mindful in purchasing an investment property. Medium price range is where you're finding a lot of applicants. We're having a lot of interstate inquiries come through, and they're securing their properties a month, 2 months in advance just to have something to secure to come down to. We're still getting a lot of inquiries through from people that are just putting their feelers out there, trying to see what they can get, just in the hopes of maybe securing something, which a lot of it has been before it even gets online. If we find a great applicant that we want to hold on to, sometimes before it even gets online, we're leasing the property, and that can be within 3 to 4 days that we get the property, we put it up, and it's gone. A lot of our properties are at now market value, which is great. Because the average market went up so quickly, we're seeing $30 to $40 increases happening, but our tenants have been really great in knowing that if they were to go try and find another property, they'd be paying the same price as if we were to put it up 30 to 40. So they're really happy and really negotiating with their owners and communicating with us, which is really good. Yeah, and we've grown dramatically. So we've put on 2 new property managers, which has really been good. We're still so busy though. It just keeps going. It doesn't seem to stop, but it's really good. Yeah. Over to you, Tameka.
Right, thanks, Em and Nat. I'm Tameka from Key2 Property, and I'm in the north of the state. The north is really reflecting what you've heard from Em and Nat, that the higher end stuff has slowed right down, without a doubt. And in the north of the state, we generally find that's due to employment. Most contracts in the north of the state are happening in the summer months, and winter is generally quiet for us. So the high end stuff is definitely sort of standing still. The medium range rentals in that sort of 350 to 550, they are still moving within a couple of days, and the vacancy rate on those is 0.2%. So really low on that mid-range run-of-the-mill properties, particularly, you know, what families are looking for. So yeah, market's still good in that range, and investments are stacking up now. So, you know, if you're looking to buy something as an investment property, we're finding in that mid-range, we're getting back to about 5% return on investments, which is fantastic. So there's a lot of properties being sent out to our investors at the moment, encouraging them to buy some more down here so that we can keep up with that rental demand, which is great. Rent increases and lease renewals are pretty solid at the moment. We've got about a 98% re-sign rate, and we're averaging about a $20 to $30 a week increase. The properties that are turning over that sort of 1 to 2%, we're seeing anywhere between sort of $50 to $60 a week increases on those. So, you know, trying to keep a happy medium, keep our tenants in the property, but keep the properties performing for our investors. So the market, yeah, in the north is really reflective of what's happening in the whole state, but I believe with interest rates going up, you know, the rental market's a good place to be at the moment, and hopefully the market settles a bit and we can keep our lovely people in their homes and build our investors' portfolios. So that's it for Tassie, everyone. Tune in next month.